Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals! And for this very special episode, we'll be featuring the LEGO Jurassic World Dominion Dreadnoughtus. Happy holidays everyone! This video is for you. But before that, scam alert, scam alert, scam alert! My customs are not yet for sale, and there are actually several websites on the internet that are actually selling my creations. I don't know why, but they are not for sale, guys, everyone. So please report this to the online selling platform. Also, happy birthday to Mr. T-Rex! Happy birthday to you! Yay! And now for the Guess PC Contest winners. Here are our lucky picks: Rainmark, Pyroraptor, Sean Xavier, Ellie, Rich Arvin, Fireball Fard, Sonali, Santiago, Sharon Rose, Enriquez. Congratulations everyone, and now for our top 10 winners.
Top 10
Dinosaur Sun Channel,
Top
Green Theory,
3
the Allosaurus,
Top 8
Dreadnoughtus,
Top
The Adventure
7
Club Castello Branco,
Top 6
Hunter Hints,
Top 5
Metalport RTH,
Top 4
Cretaceous Bricks,
Top
Sebastian Orlando,
Top 2
Mr. T-Rex,
Top
and Gabriel
1
Connolly. Congratulations everyone! And I'll see you on our next SSPC contest. For those of you who'd like to join, here's how. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and it will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. In the homepage, just click on that community link and it will lead you to all my posts. And now, on with the making of the Dreadnoughtus. So, hello everyone. As you can see, our video is quite a bit, blown up at this point because I'm actually making this Dreadnoughtus. Now, the Dreadnoughtus is a really big sauropod in my opinion, and as you can see here, I have made several adjustments into the neck portion of this gargantuan sauropod. The main base figure that I used for this was the blue Brachiosaurus, as you can see here, and the main basis for this one would be the Jurassic World Dreadnoughtus Dominion. So as you can see, that one is actually partly submerged in water, and we don't have a full length appearance of the tail, but looking from it in different angles, the tail is actually really long. Alright, so I had it with a long tail here, a sloping body, a bulky one. As you can see here, I have bulked it up a bit. The legs are quite long as well, with a really pillar-like extremeness to it. Now the neck part is really long, with a small head. So the head actually is seen from afar, so probably I'll be basing off the head from existing fossil finds, if there are any, or probably reconstructions from different paleo artists, or even the Dreadnoughtus from the Jurassic World evolution game. The Jurassic World evolution game, however, has a really funny looking head for a Dreadnoughtus, so I don't know if I'm going to do that, but yeah. So what we have now is we've already bulked up the most of the parts here that will be covered with clay. So you have your aluminum foil on the legs, the body, most parts of the neck here. As you can see here, the articulation here is actually part from a giraffe figure, as you can see, so that our Dreadnoughtus can actually lower down its neck so that it can drink water, right? And of course, so that's our Dreadnoughtus figure so far. So what we'll be doing, or what we need to place here now, would be to sculpt our material here. So what we're going to use would be our non-sag epoxy by Pioneer. Equal parts of A and B, just combine them together, don't use your hands. Usually I use sculpting materials such as, knife. But, please be careful not to, get this on your skin when you're using. But once it's already mixed up, you can actually touch it and, apply it on your figure. Customizing is really not for kids, but if you have supervision from your mom or your dad, then you may actually start on your new project, of course. Right, so I would advise for you to start small first rather than going big like this one, but that's really up to you guys. Okay, so let's start with the sculpting phase. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of clay putty that we're going to be using on the Dreadnoughtus because it's such a big figure. So make sure that you have stuffed the figure enough so that you won't have to use as much, okay? Okay, so now we have our Dreadnoughtus here that is already primered. You can see that it's all in gray. We actually used a Bosley number 68 gray for all of these. So we actually had 2 coats on this one because it's quite a big figure. I had to make sure that everything is really covered. So here we will be using several colors of paints here. My brands of acrylics, we have Liquitex, Mary's, we also have Leaves, also Focus. Also we also have acrylic paints such as I think this is for Mary's, and yeah, so these brand of paints are also the ones I also have, right? So we will be also using some water, and also my brushes are also here. Of course, before we head on with our starting to paint, this is actually the Dreadnoughtus that we will be focusing on, the Dreadnoughtus that we see in Jurassic World Dominion, right? So Dominion will be showing at the early weeks of June, so I'm so excited for that one. And Jurassic World Dominion has actually released for us, the trailer for Jurassic World Dominion. So that includes a Cretaceous scenery. So here we have several several Dreadnoughtus soaking in water. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 of those. And also you can see here the colors of the Dreadnoughtus. It's actually a mixture of yellows, greens, and some stripes and details. Also mud on the feet, but of course we're not gonna paint those mud details on our figure here, right? So I'm really excited to paint this one, so let's start. So the primary coat will be greenish. So this is just a mixture of some greens, yellow ochre, a little bit of white, and some black. I also added in some touches of blue so that it will have this particular color to it. I think I also added in some brown to this one, burnt amber, so it will have a certain darkness to it as well. So we're covering in as much as we can in terms of where this particular color paint will be placed into. I usually make several coats on this one so that it is it remains opaque on the figure even after it dries out. So now we just added several more tones of yellows to it. So I added several more yellow ochre, a little bit more white to this one, and burnt sienna. So I'm painting this on the transition lines between the darker green here and also the underbelly that is quite lighter in color. In doing this paint, I actually use a medium-sized brush so that I cover as much, but I do not extend toward lines that are not to be included. Always guys, when painting, do put on a little bit of music and enjoy yourself, of course. So here for the underbelly, this will be a mixture of a lighter color of what we have already for the transition. This is a mixture of the previous color, a little bit more yellow, and more color added to it, which is white. So we're painting this on the bottom part of the Dreadnoughtus, bottom parts of the neck, the tail, as well as that of the entire body. Do add in several more details of darker greens on the topmost portions of the Dreadnoughtus, such as what I am actually doing here. This is a mixture of olive green plus a little bit more black, and I think I also added some touches of blue colors into this as well. So before you even touch the other side, so make sure that the one that you're working on is already dry so that you won't smudge it, like I do most of the time. You can actually use a hair dryer if you have one, so that you can speed up the drying process of the acrylics that you have already painted on. Now that we have the darker greens already dried up, and also we can now start on the details of the stripes of the Dreadnoughtus. The Dominion Dreadnoughtus doesn't have as much clarity in terms of how it is actually in the actual trailer, but several Twitter posts that I've seen which actually manipulated the photo a little bit to show the details of the animal actually has stripes which are very light and more yellowish to it. So to this one, I actually used the colors that we had for the underbelly, but added touches of orange as well as a lot more yellow to this one. So it looks more bright than the yellow tones of the underbelly. And now on with the Sembrix. Okay, so here let's count the number of parts of this figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have 15 parts to this one. Let's start by, how about this one? The head and the lower jaw. Careful so not to break it. Pardon my thumb there, it's kind of dirty from the paint, but I also cut myself. But yeah, please be careful when handling sharp objects. You also have to attach this one to the neck part. There you go, and then the base of the neck, like so. Before we attach this to the body, let's first assemble the legs. So let's first start with this one. I think we did it the wrong way. Or is it the other? Oh gosh, I forgot. Yeah, I think it's right. There you go. Yeah. Or is it for the other one? Oh gosh, I forgot. Let's try this on this one. See if it's the right one. Right, it's the right fit. There you go. And this one to this one. Easy. Let's try again. This one. I think it's correct. Alright. And then this one to this one. There you go. So now we can assemble. Let's now attach the head and neck piece to the body. It's so long. Now the front legs. And then let's flip it over and let's attach the left side. Since we're on the left side, let's attach the hind legs on this one. Flip it again. And attach this one on the right side. There you go. Now, the base of the tail. And then, the last piece would be the tip. And there you have it. Our completed Jurassic World Dominion Dreadnoughtus. And now for the closer look of this figure. It's so far away because it's so big. But yeah, so I'll be coming back later for some size comparisons. But for now, let's have a closer look on the Dreadnoughtus, right? Okay, so the Dreadnoughtus here is actually based off from the Jurassic World Dominion trailer Dreadnoughtus here. We can have a clip here so that you can have a comparison. Right, so that Dreadnoughtus actually has, very minimal detail to it if you're going to take a look at it. But I saw a picture in Twitter that actually noted that the Dreadnoughtus is actually colored green with yellow stripes to it. So that's why we have this particular color scheme for the Dreadnoughtus. So we're going to take a look. Alright, so closely on the head of our Dreadnoughtus here is actually based off from the Jurassic World evolution shape of the Dreadnoughtus. The Dreadnoughtus in the trailer doesn't have, a clear picture of what the head looks like, but yeah, I based it out from that particular Jurassic World evolution. So the neck is really long. You can see here from the side view or from the top view that the stripes will be coming in from starting from the nose area until the end of the tail. Right. So it actually reminds me of the tiger of He-Man. I don't know if you guys still remember that cartoon, or you were able to watch that particular series, but we have that on Netflix. So there's a tiger there that is actually colored green with tiger stripes like this same color, right? So far out, guys. So of course our Dreadnoughtus here has several articulations to it. It can actually move its neck down like so, right? And you can also move it up until here. And of course you can't see the head anymore, so we're going to bring it down a bit like so. The head actually can move like so, and put it up like that, and you can even twist it up, right? And then the neck can be twisted as well. Same as that, the neck here at the area of the base. Of course, our legs here, the front legs is actually a little bit longer than the hind legs, but to be honest, they are almost the same size. Our legs here actually has some articulation here on the knee area, so you can do it like that, and you can do it like that, and that goes the same for our hind legs. See, it's weird if you're going to do it like that, but yeah, so it can actually bend its knee like so. The tail articulation, however, can be twisted like so, right? And so is the tip of the tail, right? And that's it for our closer look on our Dreadnoughtus. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So now we are going to compare our Dreadnoughtus here with some of the creatures that we have so far in Extinct Breeds. But first, let us compare this one with a human being This is Usher, our mini figure here, and as you can see here, it's so tall and it's so big. So comparing this one with an actual comparison between a Dreadnoughtus and a human being, you can see that it's just about the right size, right? So there you go for the size comparisons between the Dreadnoughtus and the human. So let's now move on to our comparisons between some of the creatures we had so far for extinct breeds. Let's first start with this little one. So this is a Velociraptor, as you can see here. Right, let's take a look at it more closely here first. There you go, our Velociraptor. I want the green one to be compared because, you know, our tall guy here is also green. So comparing it in terms of size, you can see here, right, so small. So I have the repaint of all the 4 Velociraptors, you know, Blue, Charlie, Delta, and Echo. So please check that out, guys. Right? Okay, so let's now compare this one with our Jurassic World Cretaceous Pteranodon. This is actually one of my latest renditions of the Pteranodon, so please check it out, guys. So here, in terms of comparison, you can see that it's really small, although the Pteranodons in Jurassic World Dominions are much smaller. I think this one is just about the right size in terms of, you know, a Pteranodon for Jurassic World. Okay, so let's now compare with some small species of sauropods. This is first the Behatosaurus. Now the Behatosaurus here actually is very similar to the Margosaurus, except that its spikes or neurals, or what do you call that? These spikes on the back are actually pointing towards the front instead of going towards the back. So when you compare it in terms of size, you can see that it's really small, but it's just about the right size, I guess, because these species of sauropods are much smaller. So there you go. Alright, so let's now compare with some other, you know, species of sauropods. This is our Apatosaurus. This Apatosaurus is actually based off from the Jurassic World Lego the game. This is one of the earliest customs that I've made so far, and comparing it in terms of size, it's formidable, but you know, it's still smaller than our Dreadnoughtus here. Okay, so I would compare with a with a Brachiosaurus, but my Brachiosaurus is under reversioning, so watch out for that video as well, guys. Next up would be one of the longest creatures that I've done so far. Actually, it is still the longest creature that I've done so far here on Extinct Breaks. This is the Diplodocus. See how long that is. It's much longer than our Dreadnoughtus, but it's actually still smaller. The height here on the shoulder blades are much smaller than the height at the shoulder blades of our Dreadnoughtus. Wow! Okay, so let's move on to another sauropod here. This is the Camarasaurus. This Camarasaurus is actually based off from the Jurassic Park Operation Genesis Camarasaurus. The Camarasaurus is actually one of my favorite sauropods from that particular game. So aside from the of course Brachiosaurus, we have the Camarasaurus. So comparing it in terms of size, our Camarasaurus is much smaller than that of the Dreadnoughtus. If I am to put here my Brachiosaurus, is actually the same height as that of the Dreadnoughtus, only our Dreadnoughtus is much longer than the Brachiosaurus. So we have our last comparison here. This is of course the Spinosaurus. My Spinosaurus is actually one of the latest figures that I've done so far. It is one of my favorite sauropods as of today. Oops. So this actual Spinosaurus is actually based off from the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 4 Spinosaurus, which is, I think, also the same Spinosaurus in Jurassic Part 3. So I actually made it in a very similar fashion to that. So guys, if you haven't checked this video yet, please do check it out, or Mr. Spinosaurus here will eat you. Alright, so that's it for our size comparisons for today. And we're here for our species roll call, and we have all the creatures you've seen here so far. And so I think I would like to ask you guys if you would have any suggestions of other creatures you'd like to see here on Extinct Breaks, then please put them down below in the comments. Also, our resident Usher here would like to remind all of you guys that all of these creatures are available in the Extinct Breaks playlist over there. And but I will be putting up specific or all of the links to all of the creatures here so far for you guys to easily just point it out and then binge watch, guys. And now it's time for us for our species roll call. Let's start with our smallest here. This is our Extinct Breaks Velociraptor. We have our Extinct Breaks Dinosaurus, our Extinct Breaks Spinosaurus, Extinct Breaks Parasaurus. This is our Extinct Breaks Jurassic World Pteranodon, Extinct Breaks Diplodocus. This is our Extinct Breaks Jurassic Park Operation Genesis Camarasaurus. And of course, the start of the show here over there at the far back would be our Extinct Breaks Dreadnoughtus. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and thank you for watching this video from start to end. I'll be putting up several video clips of the Dreadnoughtus after this one, but do watch out until the end of the video, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. This is one that I am actually looking forward for you guys to watch before the year ends. For those of you who watched this video, please place in your comments below. Thank you so much. Your views, your likes, and your comments mean the world to me. Please also support our other channels, Toy Universe and The Adventures of Moira and Usher. Please watch their videos and support their channel as well by subscribing. And as we always would say, let your inner dino break roar! Thanks everyone, and bye!